Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be talking about an awesome story out of Chicago. These are the stories that I love the most, and that is because we have a foreigner-owned business going out of business because of ICE raids, because they were coming after the illegals who were inside of her store. And she's now crying about it to local news, and local news wants us to feel bad about it, but I feel great about it. And that is because there's only so many limited logistical resources to go around when it comes to having businesses, owning businesses. There are only so many business licenses that can be given out. There are only so many literal physical stores that are available, real estate that's available for business. And those businesses should be available to natural born Americans, real American citizens, preferably foundational Americans who deserve to get that opportunity to have a business in that location. But it has all been taken over, or a lot of it has been taken over by illegals and also by foreigners, immigrants who have no right to be here, but have been given an artificial legal right to be here. And they're screwing over foundational Americans, and we are sick of it. People whose ancestors, like mine, who've been here since the 1600s, we have a better claim to be in this country than any of these immigrants who came here yesterday and want to have the equal opportunities as people like us, people like me, who are foundational Americans. We are supposed to step aside or be treated the same as people who had nothing to do with building this country. And that is fundamentally unfair. Okay. It's like if you built a house for your children and your grandchildren and random outsiders walked in from the street and decided this is their house now, and they have the same right to be here as you who built the house. That is the equivalent of what's happening in America. If you are ever wondering, any of you liberals who, wander into my channel and want to insult me, if you're wondering why is this guy so worked up, this is why I'm worked up. Because a place that my ancestors built has been taken over by a bunch of dirty foreigners who I don't want here. That's why. That's why I make these videos. Because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of my country being taken over by people who have no right to be here. Get it? You get it? It's not that difficult.
Recent federal immigration enforcement at Chicago area restaurants has left at least one of them saying it's going to have to close.
Owners say it's harassment. They're concerned for their safety of their workers and their customers. WGN's Dana Rebick has that story.
Around 9 a.m. Monday, outside the Metropole Bar and Grill on North Lincoln in North Center, federal agents took 61-year-old cook Wilson Vera into custody as he was on his way into work.
They didn't ask him any questions or didn't really speak to him and had just grabbed him and pushed him into the vehicle.
His daughter, a student at Northeastern University.
Yeah, usually when they don't ask questions, it's because they already have pictures of him and they know what they're looking for. Okay. He's an illegal and he got picked up. End of story. What's your problem? She's not denying that he's illegal. Okay. She's not saying, oh, he was a citizen, but they grabbed him anyways, because they don't grab citizens. They only grab citizens to detain them briefly because those citizens were getting in the way of ICE's job. They were impeding police officers, federal police officers. That's why citizens get detained. And then eventually they're released. They shouldn't be, in my opinion, they should be taken by the FBI, turned over by ICE and Homeland Security to the FBI. And then the FBI and the prosecutors can decide if they want to file charges, which they haven't been doing enough of. And that's my criticism of Pam Bondi and the specific U.S. attorneys in these areas, like in Chicago and in Portland, where they haven't charged enough people. Okay. Even if the grand juries are not going to go for it, you should still arrest them, keep them in FBI custody, put them through that ordeal, because they deserve to be punished for breaking federal law. Even if the grand juries are going to no-bill the indictments, which has happened sometimes. Okay, because the grand juries are filled with bleeding heart liberals who are on these protesters' side, apparently. Okay, fine. I respect the jury process. Okay, even if they no-bill the indictment, still indict them. Still put them through that ordeal, because they have to be punished in some way for impeding federal officers from doing their job, just because they want to let this country be flooded by dirty foreigners. Okay, they deserve to go through that. All these disgusting white people who care more about foreigners than their own people, they deserve to be punished in some way. If you can't put them in prison, then put them through the indictment process. File charges against them, make them come to court, go through all of that, hire a lawyer, bankrupt them. They deserve it. They choose some taco-eating Juan over George Washington. People who do that deserve to be punished. They deserve it. They deserve it.
He was in class at the time and found out when she checked her dad's cell phone location several hours later.
And I noticed that his location had been pinged to the Broadview Detention Center. And that's when I had looked it up just to make sure, like, why is he over there?
Vera, who
See, the reason they're showing this sobbing kid is because they're trying to garner sympathy for the illegal. This one here has been breaking the federal law, and finally justice has been served. And they put on this girl, his anchor baby, to cry, to make us feel bad, to make all the white liberals watching this, and also Republicans, anybody watching this, mostly white people, that's what they're targeting with these sob stories, to get them to cry. And to feel bad for these disgusting anchor babies who shouldn't even be in this country, who are now siphoning off opportunities and resources away from actual Americans for themselves. People who shouldn't even be here are getting our resources and opportunities. Okay. They are artificial Americans who are siphoning off from real Americans. That's what they are.
I had looked it up just to make sure, like, why is he over there?
Vera, who moved to Chicago from Ecuador in the 1980s, was able to make a call to his family later that night.
I had asked where they were taking him, and they said that they were transferring him to Northlake in Detroit, Michigan, late last night.
It's the latest incident impacting those in the restaurant industry.
It is hurting sales. It is hurting employees. It is hurting our small independent restaurants.
This is not
good. If it's hurting all these illegal owned businesses, these immigrant owned businesses, good, because they don't deserve to have a business license. And your ass needs to shut the hell up about it too. This is the exact kind of person who's led to the destruction of America and Americans owning businesses and these foreigners getting these business licenses. We need to stop issuing business licenses to foreigners, to immigrants, okay, and prioritize foundational Americans who's been here for more than at least 5 generations, preferably 10 generations. If you can't prove that, you should not be able to get a business license. You are literally stomping on the people who built this country and their descendants, and picking people who came here yesterday and giving them business licenses to own businesses. And people like this, capitalists like this, who only care about money, they are the root of all of this problem. Christians are right when they say money is the root of, well, it's not all problems, but definitely most problems are because of money. Okay, they're right about that. And people like this, capitalists like this, who care more about money than where the money is coming from or how you got it, the moral question, they're the problem, okay? And it's not morality for morality's sake, it's for morality to serve the citizens' sake. I'm a complete nationalist, okay? All I care about is that the actual citizens of this country are put first before these foreigners, because they have their own countries, but they want to come here and steal our opportunity. That's my problem with it, okay? It's not like, and any of these people don't have their own countries, but they want to come to mine, built by my ancestors, and take away my opportunities. There, I have a problem with you, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm a very nice person. And that's the problem. A lot of white people are too nice. And we've let our country be overrun with these people because of our niceness and our compassion. And it's time to look out for ourselves. Okay, that's my perspective. If you don't agree and you want to care about foreigners, great. Continue in that vein of destroying America. You have the freedom to do that. But I hope you don't do that. And you look out for your own family and your own blood and your own people.
It is hurting employees. It is hurting our small independent restaurants.
This is not good. This is not fair.
It is fair. It is the most fairest thing that's ever happened that your fat taco eating ass goes out of business. It is the fairest thing that's ever happened in this country. Maria.
Not how America used to be.
Judith Martinez.
Yeah, America still in many ways serves foreigners. And we need to stop it. You are not an American. Listen to yourself. Look at yourself. You will never be an American, and you shouldn't have any opportunity to own businesses here. I don't know who you think you are, why you're so entitled, but you don't have any entitlement coming for you because your ancestors didn't build this country and you weren't even born here. So give me a break, Maria.
This is not good. This is not fair. This is not how America used to be.
Judith Martinez.
The entitlement is what kills me. She came here 10 days ago and thinks she owns George Washington's country, that she has Anglo-Saxon blood flowing through her veins, that her ancestors built Delaware and New Jersey and Maryland and Pennsylvania. No, that was my ancestors, not yours.
Martinez and her husband, who own Chappie's Cafe in Palatine, have made the difficult decision to close their restaurant after 4 years in business. Within the past month, ICE agents have been here.
4 years stealing business opportunities from real Americans who could have owned that and occupied that business space. Seriously, that's what that means. So this is why this is a reason to celebrate that they're going out of business.
Within the past month, ICE agents have been here twice, the first time coming inside and questioning customers from a landscaping company who were eating breakfast.
They were asking them for their papers, their legal status, some identifications, and
their boss was with them, and I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for him, they will take them.
A week later, when the front door
They have all the right to question anybody they like about their status. They can ask me about my immigration status if they wanted to. They're immigration agents. They have that legal right to do so. You clown. She's pretending as if they did something wrong or illegal. They have all the legal right to ask for your papers. There's some idea that they can't. That's not true. Anywhere in a public space, they can ask you. Without a warrant, they can ask you questions. Because immigration enforcement is considered civil enforcement, not criminal enforcement. The FBI, they can actually also question you, but they need, if they want to search you or arrest you, they would need a warrant. Okay? ICE does not need a warrant to arrest you because they're not doing criminal arrests. They're doing civil immigration arrests where you're taken to immigration court afterward, or you're deported if you have a final order of removal. That's how the law works. Okay. A tamale eating Maria here doesn't know anything about the law, of course, and neither do most of these activists who are clowns. Okay. Even the white people, they're stupid. These open borders liberals, they don't know anything about the law, how it works.
door was locked, Martinez says ICE agents came to the back door.
They get out of the vehicles, and I was just waiting for them, telling them, like, how can I help you? You know, how can I help you? Why are you here?
Go back to Mexico. That's how you can help me.
Like, well, I need to see your ID, I need to see your passport, I need to see your legal status in this country.
Both times the agents left, but the word has spread. Latino customers make up nearly half of their business, and the fear is taking a toll.
Yeah, because they're occupying our country. So, of course, they're more than half your customers. I think it's way more than half. Okay, that's the problem. I want her gone. I want all of her Latino customers gone too, because you don't belong here. This is not your country. The entitlement is amazing. They pretend like they built the Roanoke colony. Okay, it's disgusting every time I hear it.
The business itself, it dropped the income about 60% in total since this started to happen.
That's another reason I wanted to stop in today, just to help support the business too. They're really lovely people. They don't deserve this.
Surviving.
Of course, they got a freaking treasonous Anglo-Saxon who wants to destroy his own country. You don't have to walk 5 feet in any direction before you meet a white guy who wants to destroy his own country. It is the most disgusting thing. Okay, or a white woman, even more unfortunate, because I love white women more than white men, obviously, and I wish that they were on our side. But there's so many people who are not, because they've been taken over by this compassion BS. Like you just said, oh, they're such nice people. Do you invite random nice people from the street into your house? No? Then why the mother F do you think it's okay to do it for the country? You know that America is like a house, right? Built by the settlers who started this country back in the 1600s, who built the foundations of it. So why in the mother F do you think that if you don't do that for your house, why do you want to do that for America, where you let randos into our country, into our house? It's amazing how dumb these people are, how they can't use logic and reason to protect their own land.
Really lovely people. They don't deserve this.
Surviving the pandemic and inflation.
There's some lovely homeless people walking around, bro. You can invite them into your house now using your own logic. As long as they're nice people, they should be able to break into your house, right? You clown. Go sharpen up your nose some more, you idiot.
Now faced with a financial crisis crushing their business.
We don't want to expose diners, customers, friends, employees, and ourselves. I think it's not worth it.
The owners plan to close this cafe on November 2nd. The family of Wilson Vera tells us that he was undocumented but did not have a criminal background. They fear he will be deported back to Ecuador. In Palatine, Dana Rebick, WGN News.
We've achieved our goal, which is to get her out of here, and hopefully she'll be going back to her own country soon. So no matter how you look at it, this is a win. Okay, because the illegals will be somewhere else, and ICE will be able to go there to arrest them. So awesome. The good news keeps coming out of Chicago. Basically, every single story I've heard is nothing but good news. Okay, obviously, I feel bad for the ICE agents who have to deal with these violent savages who are like getting into physical confrontations with them. But in Chicago, the raids have been happening everywhere, like it's everywhere, literally on almost every block, and they're just taking them left and right, Juan by Juan. They're gone. Okay, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I wish they can do the same in California. Okay, but Chicago is a smaller place and more controllable than here, where there's so many more of them, and California is way bigger, obviously, and way more people. It's hard to do it here. Okay, but hopefully someday they come here and as well, because we need it more than anything. California and Texas are the biggest foreigner occupied states where we are the minority. real Americans. And that's the place we need to use them. Okay. So that's one critique I would have of the DHS, of Kristi Noem, who I like, where she's not investing enough resources in California and in Texas, the two places where they're the most numerous, the illegals. This is where you need to focus your resources. That would be my only correction and slash advice to Kristi Noem. Okay. But they have their own, goal that they're following. I respect that, but please come here as soon as possible. Okay. And I think a lot of people agree with me on that point. And that's all I got to say for this video. Thanks so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you guys in my next one.